Title: Decompose in Peace, Eco-Warrior's Last Ride in Fungi Coffins. TL::DR, hitting the eternal snooze button never looked so green. Dutch startup Loop Biotech is putting the fun back in funeral with mushroom-grown, cocoon-style coffins that decompose in just over a month. It's sustainable till death do us part, and then some. But it raises the question, are we ready to let nature really take its course? It seems we've found a new way to live life to the fullest, right up until the very end, and beyond. Meet the Dutch startup Loop Biotech, that's here to prove the party doesn't stop at death with their cocoon-style coffins, courtesy of your friendly neighborhood mushrooms and hemp fibers. Sounds like a shroom trip, doesn't it? The brains behind the compostable caskets is a visionary Dutch inventor, who decided that the phrase "going back to our roots" could do with a bit of a remix. Why stick with boring old wood when you can rest in peace in a cocoon grown from mycelium, the root structure of mushrooms, and hemp fiber, snug in a sarcophagus mold that, after a week, looks pretty much like an Egyptian relic. Pretty dope, huh? Now, traditional wooden coffins take forever to decompose, and the trees they come from take even longer to grow back. Talk about an environmental downer. But these fungi fabulous coffins deliver you back to nature in just 45 days. I mean, if you're going to make an exit, might as well be an eco-friendly one, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Funerals, despite being all about saying farewell to a life lived, still seem pretty stuck in tradition. But wouldn't it be cool to kick the bucket in a way that lines up with our modern, eco-conscious ideals? US investor Sean Harris seems to think so. As an investor in Loop Biotech, he reckons we're ready for a fresh take on final goodbyes. Founder Bob Hendrick, a 29-year-old pioneer with a penchant for I Am Compost t-shirts, tells us the idea came from his love of nature and its biggest recyclers, mushrooms. He imagined a world where we don't just end in the soil but contribute to the circle of life. And for those not feeling the coffin vibe, Loop Biotech's got you covered with a grow-your-own urn that comes with its very own sapling. It's like you're not just passing on, you're sprouting into something new. But this brings us to the million-dollar question, are we ready to really embrace the cycle of life? Does the idea of becoming tree food, no matter how sustainable, give you the creeps or the warm fuzzies? We're all for reducing our carbon footprint, but are we ready to let nature call the shots even after we've clocked out? Isn't it time we reconsidered what our final act looks like, in the grand scheme of things? Do we get to have a say in our own happily ever after? Note, this article does not promote or recommend any products or services. It merely discusses an existing news story and should not be used as health or investment advice. Always consult with a professional in